इससे कुछ गड़बड़ हो।
Namaskar and welcome. You're watching Midday Prime. I'm Sakal Bhatt, and today the show we're leading with India setting a record of sorts in universal COVID vaccine drive by administering at least 8.6 million doses. With quick updates, we'll be getting you on the Midday Prime from different parts of the country on the vaccination drive. Plus, we will also be keeping an eye on the political developments in Kashmir ahead of the all-party meeting convened by Honorable Prime Minister tomorrow, with Gupkar Alliance also attending the same. But first up on Midday Prime, here are the headlines. India's COVID-19 vaccination coverage crosses landmark of 29 crore with more than 54.24 lakh vaccine doses administered yesterday. Over 6.55 crore vaccine doses administered in the age group of 18 to 44 so far. India reports 40 cases of Delta Plus variant, currently a variant of concern or VOC. Centre advises states to keep up immediate containment measures, enhance testing, tracking and vaccination in districts and clusters where the Delta Plus variant is found. COVID continues to decline in India as the country reports 50,848 new cases in the last 24 hours. Daily recoveries continue to outnumber the daily new cases for the 41st consecutive day. Recovery rate increases to 96.56%. Meanwhile, Centre allocates additional 61,000 vials of amphotericin medicine to all states. Cabinet approves further allocation of additional food grain to NFSA beneficiaries under Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana for another period of 5 months, July to November 21. And also, as per IMT, India receives 31% excess of rainfall during the monsoon season so far. Forecast heavy rains in parts of Odisha, West Bengal, Sikkim, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Bihar for the next 5 days. In other news, on Olympic Day, Prime Minister Modi appreciates all those who have represented India in various Olympics over the years, says nation is proud of their contributions to reports, wishes the very best to Indian Tokyo 2020 contingent, urges all to take part in quiz on MyGov. And in cricket, India finishes fifth day at 64 for 2 with a lead of 32 runs against New Zealand in the World Test Championship final at Southampton. And in Euro Cup 2020, Croatia beats Scotland 3-1 to qualify for the Euro round of 16, while England trumps Czech Republic 1-0 to claim first place in Group D. And on Midday Prime, let's begin with the big news. So India has administered 54,24,000 vaccine doses during the last 24 hours. Over 29 crore 46 lakh vaccine doses have been administered so far under nationwide vaccination drive. Earlier on Tuesday, as many as 54,24,374 doses were administered. Meanwhile, the centre has been expanding the scope of COVID-19 vaccination throughout the country. As part of the nationwide vaccination drive, the government has been supporting the states and union territories by providing them COVID vaccines free of cost. In the new phase of the universalization of the COVID-19 vaccination drive, the centre will produce and will procure and supply 75% of these vaccines free of cost that are produced by the vaccine manufacturers in the country to the states and union territories. So far, a total of 29 crore 68 lakh 27,450 vaccine doses have been provided to states and union territories through the government's free of cost channel and through direct state procurement category. Of this, the total consumption including wastages till today morning is 27 crore 76 lakh 26,985 doses. More than 1.92 crore COVID vaccine doses are still available with the states and union territories to be administered. Over 39,07,310 vaccine doses are in the pipeline and will be received by the states and union territories within the next 3 days. Meanwhile, Indian SARS-CoV-2 Genome Sequencing Consortia, or INSA-CoG, has classified all its Delta sub-lineages, including Delta and Delta Plus, as variant of concern in its latest report released after genome surveillance of the variants of SARS-CoV-2 virus in India. Let's take a look at the report in detail. Now, in this report, INSA-CoG, the SARS-CoV-2 virus causing COVID-19 is mutating continuously with increase in number of infections both in India and across the world. Mutations help the virus become either more transmissible or more virulent, or both perhaps. And with time, these mutations, known as variants of interest, increase in frequency in the selected population and are considered as the variants of concern. This variant has been observed sporadically in Maharashtra, Kerala and Madhya Pradesh, with around 40 cases identified so far and no significant increase in prevalence. So let's move on and talk about the latest coming in from Karnataka as well. Karnataka has, in fact, okay, let's quickly go across to my colleagues Meghna, and we have also our correspondent joining us from Mumbai. Meghna, coming to you, first of all, you know, this variant of concern, variant of interest and the mutations and the latest report release. Take us through the high points. We do understand there is absolutely no need to panic, but what does the report say?
Undoubtedly, Sakal, no need to panic, but there is definitely a need to caution, because, you know, the variant has been said that it is a variant of concern. Besides that, this variant has been found in 9 other countries. If we name a few countries like the UK, Poland, Switzerland, Nepal, Russia, China, you know, some of these countries have reported this variant as well, and we have about 40 cases now in the country as well. So definitely containment is one important option, and also when we know that INSA-CoG is also, you know, studying these, you know, variations. INSA-CoG basically is also consortium. Now this consortium is basically has labs based in like 4 special clusters. Now these are in New Delhi, Bengaluru, Pune, and you know, Maharashtra. So these are Bengaluru. So these are a few places where you know, the consortium, the labs are there, which basically are studying the genome sequencing and are also studying the strains, the circulating strain variants, the mutations in the strains. So all of this is being studied. The turnaround time is about 10 to 15 days, as it is being said. But still, this is definitely a very important thing, that because you already told that the transmissibility may also increase with mutations. There can also be a chance that the virus can become more dangerous.
Yes.
Or in the worst case scenario, it can have both these, you know, both these drawbacks. So it is definitely one very important thing to be concerned about, and also trying to contain these, because we have already seen the states having several kind of mechanisms to control the spread, to control, you know, making containment zones, micro containment zones and things like that. So definitely now the administration should pick up on its toes and actually start identifying or tracing the contacts of these people, the people who have tested positive for the Delta Plus variant, and also, you know, the genome sequencing of the strains found in them can also be done to actually study this further, because definitely the research is also important, and that is what INSA-CoG, the consortium, is doing.
Okay, Meghna, just stay with us. We have Aisha Khanam also joining us from Bengaluru. And can I also go across to Mumbai first, where Shama Mishra continues to be with us, and then we'll go to Aisha. Shama, quickly, since we are talking about this Delta Plus variant, variant of concern, variant of interest, if you remember. Shama, can we go to Shama, please? Shama, we were talking about it yesterday, and you reported that you know, some of these cases have been concentrated in parts of Maharashtra like Raigad, etc., and the state administration. They are working on it. What more can you share with us? And especially a quick one on the vaccination drive, the traction that has got across. Okay, Shama, yes, please go ahead if you could hear me. Quick one on vaccination drive and the new Delta Plus variant, latest information on that.
Well, On the Delta variant front, we are knowing that Maharashtra has already collected a large sample from all parts of the state and have sent it to testing for further testing and also for genome sequencing. So new numbers are yet to come. Yesterday we did report that 21 new cases of Delta variant were reported. These were concentrated in Ratnagiri, 9 cases, then Jalgaon, 7 cases, then Mumbai 2 cases, Sindhudurg, Palghar 1 cases each. So these places have been reporting Delta plus variant, and contact tracing and travel history has also been is also being found out of these people. On the vaccination front, we know for the fact that Maharashtra did not begin its 18 to 44 vaccination drive on 21st of June as the entire nation did it. But Maharashtra on 21st June late night decided and announced that they would also resume the vaccination drive for 18 to 29. Maharashtra had already continued with 30 to 44 vaccination drive since 19th June. So they announced to resume the 18 to 29 category from yesterday itself. But since the order came out last late night, many of the districts of the state have started it from today, including Mumbai, and Mumbai has also begun the vaccination drive for 18 to 29 age group from today, and they have asked people, they have asked citizens to preferably book the slot online and then come to the CVCs, because they want to avoid crowding given the large population of Mumbai, large population of all over Maharashtra. And also since yesterday, since day before yesterday, the announcement was done, Maharashtra has achieved another target, inoculating more than 5 lakh people in a single day. So 5.52 lakh people were vaccinated in a single day yesterday, and the aim is going forward, the aim would remain to inoculate more than 4 lakh people every day. Sakal.
Okay, Shama and Meghna, please stay with us. Quickly coming to you, Aisha. Aisha, it seems that Karnataka continues to set more milestones in terms of, saturating maximum population with vaccines and much more. Aisha, over to you, quick one.
Yes, absolutely, Sakal. Karnataka is in the forefront of the massive vaccination camp across the state, and also there are jumbo vaccination camps being conducted so that the government meets the target by the year end. And as per the government's records, yesterday the government has completed 2 crore vaccinations. So that is one of the biggest milestone after the government achieved, after the Karnataka state achieved 11 lakh vaccinations in a single day on Monday. So this is one good thing, and the government is prioritizing the vaccination camps, like people, the students who are going abroad, hotel workers, the sports persons, and people living in clusters. So this kind of prioritizing the vaccination camps is also happening, where the government is making it easy for people to reach the vaccination sites. And also, it is not very necessary that you should have the Cowin app, you should register on Cowin app. The government is encouraging people to walk to the nearest vaccination camp and the PHCs and get themselves registered. And there are a huge number of volunteers to assist the people coming to the centers, and also help them with the Cowin app and other technology related stuff. So the Karnataka government now says that the target it has to achieve by November or December is that at least 75% of the population has to be vaccinated, as Dr. Devi Shetty has submitted an interim report yesterday itself, saying that the third wave is cause of concern, and this is this kind of looming a large threat. Therefore, the committee has suggested that the government vaccinate the students and teachers so that the educational institutions can resume by September. So this is one big target before the government, and government will go ahead with the vaccination of students and the teachers very soon by organizing special camps. And one quick point to add about Delta variant is that the Karnataka government has identified one case in Mysore district where a Delta variant asymptomatic patient has been found. But the government is keeping a close watch, as they say that the patient is asymptomatic, though the variant is a Delta variant, and it is a cause of concern. This has been sent to different labs to reconfirm and recheck the genomic sequences. And also the government is now stepping up stepping up the fight against COVID-19 by organizing more labs. About 9 labs will be set up with more advanced facilities, so that the samples which are suspicious samples which could have Delta variant can be detected easily, and the contact tracing will be stepped up, so that within 24 hours the government can trace the contacts of this kind of dangerous Delta variant and start the treatment early, so that there is no spread of the infections to other people and other districts.
Okay, yes, a very valid point there. Aisha, stay with us. Shama, quickly coming to you now. We've seen, in fact, Maharashtra was one of the worst affected states 2 months ago, and even beyond that. We've seen a significant improvement in recovery rate. But at the same time, the Maharashtra government, the administration is in no mood to let the guards down. Curbs, restrictions continue to be in place, and that too very systematically. If you could just quickly update us what's happening in Mumbai particularly, situation on ground.
See, Sakal, every Thursday, the entire Maharashtra government and the district in particular, they meet up and they review the situation, what is there in their area. And from the health department, the numbers are issued before Thursday, that what is the positivity rate in particular district and what is the oxygen bed occupancy in that particular district. Accordingly, these district administrations can decide into which level of the 5-level category their district falls. So Mumbai in particular, it is still in level 3. From day one, Mumbai has been in level 3. Mumbai has been showing good results and improving in matter of the positivity rate and also the bed occupancy rate. But as we know that Mumbai is one of the most populous places, and once the entire district or entire city opens up, we know huge crowd of people would gather at many places, including the bazaars, including the eateries, and that is why the government doesn't want to take a chance, the BMC doesn't want to take a chance on this, so as to avoid or delay at least the third wave. And that is why each district is opening up their district very cautiously. Even Pune, Thane, Navi Mumbai, Palghar, these areas, these city-like areas, they have been taking decisions very cautiously in the level 5 level phases of opening up Maharashtra. So yes, Mumbai lies in level 3, and going forward also, today the state cabinet is going to meet. We may expect a lot of decisions coming out. Thursday they would be meeting up for reviewing. BMC might take a decision, but more or less BMC would continue with the level 3 restrictions and slowly giving up ease in restrictions to maybe hoteliers or other facilities, so they can extend their timing, business timings, so they can also have a sigh of relief, and the crowd control can also happen at the same time.
Okay, Shama, many thanks for joining us with those very critical inputs, very important. Thank you for joining us. Aisha, coming to you, and we can go to Meghna. Yes, Meghna is there. Aisha, quickly, just to wrap it up, what more can you add in the sense this new variant, Delta Plus, that you were talking about? A quick one on that. Vaccination has picked a lot of traction there. The government has added, there are robust mechanisms in place in terms of COVID containment. What more information can you share with our viewers, especially in terms of the curbs and restrictions that are still in place? Because one thing is very clear, Aisha Khanam, you would agree, we cannot be complicit.
Absolutely. There is no way that one can drop the guard. Despite the unlock in Karnataka, the government decided to unlock after nearly 45 to 50 days recently, and 19 districts unlocked first, but the government was very careful. The unlock happened based on the positivity rate in each district. Though Karnataka overall has now achieved 2% positivity rate, which is the lowest possibly in the during the second wave, and the government then slowly again moved to unlock the second phase, wherein 6 more districts were in the 6 more districts the restrictions were eased. So government is not taking any chance to give scope for this Delta variant or for the other existing virus to take over once again. And also the fact that the Delta variant, though, is a major cause of concern, as I said, now more labs are being set up in districts also, so that in case there is suspicion about this variant, these labs can be the sample can be checked in the advanced labs. So this is how the government is bracing up to face the new variant as well. And also there will be strict restrictions across the border sharing the different states. So
Asha, we're really running short of time. Yes. I'm sorry I'm interrupting you. Really running short of time. And just to wrap up, Meghna, over to you. What Aisha, talked about, the surveillance part, the genome sequencing, what we do know about this new Delta variant as per as this report that you're talking about. A quick one. Where is this leading to?
Yes, absolutely, Sakal. When we actually know that the transmissibility and becoming more dangerous can be the characteristics of a virus when it mutates, so definitely we will also have to get into more of research to actually get to know. The consortium also has to bring forth, because there are around 28 labs across the country, and definitely once we have got this variant of concern, all the laboratory must be on their toes to actually detect the virus if in case it gets traced from the contacts of the people who have already been infected. But as we get to know, as Aisha also said, that a few of the people who have been infected with this have been asymptomatic, so that definitely gives some bit of respite, but definitely not on the case that it can be more transmissible or it can be more dangerous as well. Besides, I would quite quickly like to put a point forward also when we talk about the vaccination drive. The more vaccines are expected to come in the kitty, definitely, because currently we have 3 vaccines in our kitty, and Sputnik V is expected to be rolling out sometime very soon. Zycov D, the vaccine of the Zydus Cadila, can also apply for emergency use authorization very soon. And when we also talk about the Bharat Biotech, it has applied for expression of interest at the WHO, and the DCGI had it has submitted the last phase clinical trial data to the DCGI, and after that the emergency use authorization listing, the meeting can be held anytime soon with the Bharat Biotech. So the Bharat Biotech will also get a international platform when it will be listed in the emergency use authorization of the WHO. Besides that, we obviously will have to wait for biological ease vaccine, Corbevax.
Yes, Meghna. Yes. Meghna and Aisha Khanna, many thanks for joining us on Midday Prime from Karnataka and Delhi. Now, let's talk a little bit more about Karnataka before we move on. Now, Karnataka has achieved another milestone as it crossed 2 crore vaccination. As Aisha mentioned a while back, Chief Minister B.S. Yedurappa has said the aim of Karnataka government is to vaccinate every eligible citizen by the end of 2021, and that the state is very much on course to accomplish it. Earlier on Tuesday, the state administered 11 lakh vaccine doses in a single day. Meanwhile, in Mumbai, the Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation, the BMC, has already begun vaccinating people above 18 years from today. People can register themselves online to get their doses. The Municipal Corporation said that it will prefer online option of registration. The Bombay High Court has also directed Maharashtra government and the BMC to form a policy on an SOS basis to avoid incidents of frauds or fake vaccination drives. The court said the state or the municipal authorities must be part or have information of all such private vaccination camps being organized by housing societies and office to ensure citizens do not suffer. Mumbai has been recently witnessing decline in New Delhi COVID-19 cases. Moving on, Union Communications, Electronics and IT Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad right now is addressing a press briefing in National Capital. Let's quickly go there. Okay, we are expecting this presser to begin in a while. Meanwhile, we will be taking you live to the press conference as it begins. But meanwhile, let's come back to Midday Prime and talk about the other stories that we are tracking for you. Shifting focus to Bihar. In Bihar, Unlock 3 became effective from today for a 2-week with certain restrictions. According to revised guidelines, the government and private offices will function with 100% attendance. Shops and business establishments will open till 7 p.m. on alternative days. Night curfew will continue from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. next morning. Park and gardens will be open from 6 to 12 noon. Educational institutions will remain closed. Online teaching will continue in educational institutions. And now let's move to our developing story. Jammu and Kashmir's Gupkar alliance, led by former Chief Minister Farooq Abdullah, have said that they will attend an all-party meeting on Thursday with the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Remember, earlier on Tuesday, Jammu and Kashmir's National Conference President Farooq Abdullah, who is also the former Chief Minister of the state, met members of the People's Alliance for Gupkar Declaration at his residence in Srinagar. Now, the meeting was convened ahead of the all-party meet convened by Prime Minister Modi, which will be taking place tomorrow in the national capital. After that, yesterday, addressing the media after the Gupkar meet, Farooq Abdullah did say that he will be attending the all-party meeting on Thursday, that is tomorrow, to basically put forth his party's stand in the meeting. Farooq Abdullah is one among the 14 political leaders invited for this all-party meeting that's going to be convened tomorrow. Arun, my colleague, is with us to put this in perspective, and Salman, my senior colleague from Srinagar, is also live with us on Midday Prime. Salman, I'm going to come to you, and Salman, if you could hear me. All right, we'll go to Salman a bit later. Arun, very important outreach by Honorable Prime Minister, especially post-abrogation of Article 370 in 2019. This is seen as a big move in terms of setting a positive Naya Kashmir narrative on the development trajectory and also kick-starting the political process in a way in Valley.
As far as when we talk about Insaniyat, Kashmiriyat and Jamhuriyat, so, to extend or primarily to restore the democracy at the grassroots level, this meeting is going to be very much significant. And as we know this fact, Sakal, that Prime Minister Narendra Modi believes in the fact that Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas and Sabka Vishwas. So in that context, the political leadership of Jammu and Kashmir, from PDP to a national conference to various other regional parties in Jammu and Kashmir, they all are going to attend this meeting called by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Now, this is going to be the first meeting in last 2 years, primarily you can say that after the abrogation of Article 370 and 35A. The basic, there are speculation as to what can top the agenda as far as this meeting is concerned. But if you try to join the dots, one thing is for sure, the development is going to be at the core of this meeting. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, when he meets with the political leadership of Jammu and Kashmir, it is very much likely that the political leaders of Jammu and Kashmir will raise the issues, various issues that they have in the mind, ranging from statehood to other various topics. And yes, so one thing is for sure that development is at the core as far as this meeting is concerned. Second important aspect, we know this fact that how, the grassroots level democracy, we have seen the kind of, the elections, the local level elections that were held recently,
yes.
The kind of victory, the kind of confidence building that has taken place as far as, restoring the democracy is concerned. We know this fact that the BJP came out or emerged as a single largest party as far as the election is concerned. So on one side, entire alliance, the Gupkar alliance was there. On the other side, BJP was there. And we have seen it at the grassroots level. People primarily, coming out in large number, voting out there as far as, the grassroots level democracy is concerned. So yes, now in terms of the assembly elections, we know this fact that the delimitation commission is already there and the work is in progress as far as delimitation is concerned, or in run up to the assembly elections is concerned. So that is being done by the election commission. But yes, it is very much important for the cooperation from the side of all the political parties as far as delimitation process is concerned. How can these political parties play a crucial role as far as delimitation process is concerned? Because we know this fact that delimitation process is very much important in holding the election process or the political process going forward. So yes, what are the immediate demand from the people of Jammu and Kashmir, or primarily from this political leadership side? That's number one. The development aspect, because we know this fact that after the abrogation of Article 317-35A, the central sponsored scheme primarily are reaching to the people in Jammu and Kashmir. The terrorism has gone down.
Arun, we have Salman also with us, joining us from Srinagar. Salman, just to add to the larger optics that Arun was talking about, the significance, the way New Delhi is looking at it. But most importantly, the significance of how Gupkar Alliance is positively looking at this meeting, with the kind of reactions that have come from the NC and PDP, most importantly. Salman, what's the kind of traction, the confidence that is building on ground? This is important outreach, very big outreach by Honorable Prime Minister post-abrogation of 370 and 35A. The broader agenda being the political process alignment and development of Jammu Kashmir.
Yeah, definitely. This is one of the biggest political interventions by the central government since August 2019, and obviously the aim is to get bring into in this process the parties like PDP, NC, or and other parties also. Basically, there has been central government is finding out that while they have instituted a kind of a grassroots democracy, but there are some certain demands and certain agendas that can only be aggregated by larger political forces. So I think that is one kind of the aim behind this thing, is to get what actually the people from Jammu Kashmir and Ladakh are actually want to do in this thing. So obviously the wider optics in here in Kashmir, there has been a cautious optimism. I think it is kind of it has generated a sense of optimism. There is a little bit caution in that optimism, but I think that is always warranted.
Well, as long
from
as
the
we
people.
have optimism attached. Yes. Salman, very quickly, as long as we have optimism attached,
yeah,
that's very important.
Definitely.
Yes. What reactions, before I go back to Arun, what reactions are you picking up from two important outfits, PDP and NC?
They have been very positive about it. They had their meetings. They consulted their cadre. There was a meeting of NC and PDP. They did their meetings separately with their cadres. Then eventually there was a grand meeting of PAGD as a group, and so finally they have come to the conclusion that they will be attending this party. And and they have said that regards the agenda, they said that they will go with their own agenda and let the central government have their own agenda, so that they could communicate to them, to the central government, what their thought process is about what has happened since last 2 years in Jammu and Kashmir.
All right, many thanks. Arun, you want to add quickly to that? Because Salman, because he's there where the action is right now in terms of the, the political activity center there in Srinagar, a lot of positivity, especially when we talk about two important outfits in the political turf of Jammu Kashmir, NC and PDP, and the larger picture being development and alignment of politics in the valley.
Well, apart from development and of course the politics that is taking place, there's one more also important aspect. Now, this is survival of the existence of these political leadership in Jammu and Kashmir specifically, because we know this fact that the grassroots level elections, be it the local level elections, they've proved that the youngsters want democracy to be restored as far as Jammu and Kashmir is concerned. Now, these political leaders will have to redefine themselves, they'll have to reinvent themselves, and in that context, this meeting is going to be very much important, because until and unless these regional leaders, this regional political leadership redefine themselves and of course re-emerge again, it is very much important for them as well. And in that context, it is very much important that Prime Minister Narendra Modi, that means centre, and of course the leaders of Jammu and Kashmir, when they too talk to each other, development is surely going to come out, because we have seen the fact that how electrification process has seen an exponential jump in states like Jammu and Kashmir, specifically after abrogation of Article 370 and 35A. The terrorist activity has gone down massively by more than 64%.
Right,
if you compare from 2020 to 2019. So this gives a message that how development is going forward. Youngsters primarily want development, and of course these political leadership, they will also play a key role as far as development is concerned, and it is Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas in achieving primarily Jammu.
Yes, we'll have to see how this pans out tomorrow, but as Salman rightly put in, there's a lot of optimism and optimism attached to this meeting from the valley's perspective. Thank you very much, Salman Qazi, for joining us from Srinagar, and Arun from Delhi. And now on Midday Prime, let's quickly move on to the next segment. That's National Prime.
Of the game, in fact.
The Union Cabinet, chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, today approved allocation of additional food grain under Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana Phase 4 for another period of 5 months from July to November 2021. An additional 5 kg of food grain will be allocated to per person each month, free of cost, for maximum 81.35 crore beneficiaries covered under National Food Security Act, including those covered under direct benefit transfer. The sanction of this additional food grain would entail an estimated food subsidy of 64,031 crore rupees, as the central government is bearing the entire expenditure without any contribution by states and union territories. An additional expenditure of about 3,235.85 crore rupees would be required to be met towards transportation and handling of FPS's dealers' margins by Government of India. And with this, the total estimated expenditure borne by the government will be 67,266.44 crore rupees. The total outgo in terms of food grains may be approximately 204 metric tons, and the additional allocation will help improve the hardships faced by poor due to economic disruption caused by COVID-19 pandemic. And the Union Cabinet, also chaired by Prime Minister, today approved to merge or transfer all assets, liabilities, rights and obligations of Central Railside Warehouse Company Limited with Central Warehousing Corporation. This merger will unify similar functions of both the companies through a single administration to promote efficiency, optimum capacity utilization, transparency, accountability, ensure the financial savings and leverage railway siding for new warehouse capacities. Union Cabinet, let's now move on, also approved an agreement between the Republic of India and St. Vincent and the Grenadines for the exchange of information and assistance in collection with respect to taxes. Now, this is a new agreement between the Republic of India and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. There was no such agreement in past between the two countries. Now, this agreement mainly proposes to facilitate exchange of information between the two countries and to provide assistance to each other in collection of tax claims. And there's some good news coming in as per the latest Reuters Institute Digital News Report 2021, 10th edition. Government broadcasters DD News and All India Radio have retained highest levels of trust among consumers. And reacting to this report, Prasar Bharati CEO Shashi Shekhar Vempati has tweeted, and I'm going to quote that tweet for you: interesting findings by Reuters Institute on the high degree of trust enjoyed by India's public broadcasters Doordarshan and All India Radio. Moving on, the Delhi High Court today refused to stay the notice to WhatsApp by Director General of Competition Commission of India seeking information regarding the messaging application controversial new privacy policy. On June 4th, the CCI's Director General had sent a notice to WhatsApp and Facebook asking them to submit certain documents as part of the Commission's inquiry into the new privacy policy. The Mark Zuckerberg-owned platforms on Monday approached Delhi High Court seeking a stay on the probe. The bench also underlined that in our view, there is no doubt that the issuance of impunged notice by the DG is a step in furtherance of the investigation commenced in the Somoto case, in which the investigation is a subject matter of the challenge in the present letter patents appeal. Moving on, today is the death anniversary of the founder of Bharatiya Janata Sangh, the predecessor to the Bharatiya Janata Party, Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu paid rich tributes to Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee on his death anniversary by tweeting, and I quote, Dr. Mukherjee was a true nationalist, passionate academician and visionary leader who cared deeply for India's unity and integrity. The Vice President further said, Dr. Mukherjee's love for our motherland continues to inspire every Indian. Unquote. Today is also the death anniversary, as we mentioned, of the founder of the Bharatiya Janata Sangh, the predecessor of the BJP, Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee, and Prime Minister has also tweeted. I'm going to quote this. Dr. Mukherjee's noble ideas, rich thoughts and commitment to serve people will continue to inspire us. His efforts towards national integration will never be forgotten. Unquote. Union Home Minister Amit Shah also paid tributes to the founding member of the BJP, and he tweeted, Amit Shah has said, and I quote, Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee, the architect of cultural nationalism, was in favor of making mother tongue the medium of instruction. He believed that no country can progress without public participation. He founded the Janata Sangh with the aim of national reconstruction. Dr. Mukherjee sacrificed everything to protect the country's identity and integrity. He saved India from being partitioned again. His sacrifice, dedication and his ideals will continue to guide the generations to come, unquote. BJP President JP Nadda along with Union Minister Dr. Harshvardhan today paid floral tributes to Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee on his death anniversary at the BJP headquarters in national capital. Speaking at the event, JP Nadda said Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee had launched a movement for the abrogation of Article 370 in Jammu and Kashmir.
श्यामा प्रसाद मुखर्जी देश के आज़ाद भारत के उन नेताओं में से एक रहे जिन्होंने देश की एकता और अखंडता के लिए अपना सर्वस्व न्योछावर किया। उन्होंने जम्मू कश्मीर भारत का अभिन्न अंग बने, धारा 370 समाप्त हो, 35A निरस्त हो, इसके लिए उन्होंने उस समय आंदोलन चलाया था और कहा था एक देश में एक विधान, एक प्रधान, एक संविधान। और आज हमको संतोष इस बात का होता है कि मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में धारा 370 समाप्त हुई है, 35A निरस्त हुआ है और अब कश्मीर भारत का अभिन्न अंग बना है।
Moving on, the IMD has said that India has received 31% excess rainfall during the monsoon season so far. The Weather Department says that India gauged 13.78 centimeter per precipitation against the normal of 10.05 centimeter till June 21st. However, in the remaining areas of the country, which includes Delhi, parts of Rajasthan, Haryana and Punjab, there is little chance of it moving further in the next 7 days. According to the IMD, due to the western disturbance, there may be heavy rainfall in the western Himalayan region and adjoining areas of northwest India for the next 5 days. IMD has forecast that heavy rains may occur in most parts of Odisha, West Bengal, Sikkim, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh and Bihar for the next 5 days. Along with this, most areas of South India may also receive heavy rains for the next 1 week. Meanwhile, in Bihar, due to cessation of rain in Nepal's Terai region and North Bihar region, the water levels of Gandak, Budhi Gandak and Bhagmati rivers in Muzaffarpur district is receding rapidly, although the water level of all these three rivers has reached near the danger mark. Meanwhile, road communication is disrupted in several low-lying areas for the Meenapur and Kanti blocks due to erosion caused by rivers. Water is flowing over the road in rural areas and villages have taken shelters with family and cattle at higher places. The Valmiki Tiger Reserve in the West Champaran's Bataya district and the other areas of the Gandak River are flooded. They are submerged, causing damage to paddy crop. Meanwhile, Bihar's Water Resources Minister Sanjay Jha has said that all administrative preparations are complete to deal with the floods.
18003456 ये एक नंबर डेडिकेटेड दिया है जिस पर आप कॉल करके कहीं भी कोई फ्लड का कोई आपको कहीं सीपेज कहीं पाइपिंग बांध में दिखता है या कोई और ये है तो आप 24 घंटे ये हमारा फोन ऑन रहता है। बाढ़ से पहले जो काम करवाया जाता है सारा काम कंप्लीट हो गया है। अब आने वाले समय में डिपार्टमेंट पूरी तरह से अलर्ट है, सारे जगह इंजीनियर्स एम्बैंकमेंट पर सब जगह अलर्ट है। हम लोग का पूरा कोऑर्डिनेशन जिला प्रशासन के साथ भी है, अन्य डिपार्टमेंट के साथ भी है और एक जो ट्रेडिशनल मेथड है वो तो यूज हो ही रहा है पिछले कुछ 1-2 साल से।
And now, Union Communications, Electronics and IT Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad is addressing a media presser. Let's go live.
सेक्टर के विकास में बीपीओ इंडस्ट्री वॉइस रिलेटेड में एक बहुत बड़ी क्रांति है। The guideline being issued today is revolutionary in nature, which will make India a very favorable destination for expansion of voice related BPO centers. अभी इसके हम बाकी फीचर्स आपको बताएंगे, लेकिन इंडिया की जो बीपीओ इंडस्ट्री है is today at $37.6 billion 1920, 2.8 lakh crore approximately. तो भारत की बीपीओ इंडस्ट्री 2.8 लाख करोड़ की है और इसमें लोगों को नौकरी मिलती है, बाकी होता है। और इसमें इस बात की संभावना है कि आने वाले 2025 तक ये 55.5 बिलियन डॉलर्स की हो जाएगी, 3.9 लाख करोड़। Therefore, the Indian BPO industry has extraordinary potential to rise to 55.5 billion US dollars, that is 3.9 lakh crore by 2025. हमारे विभाग ने, डीओटी ने काफी रिफॉर्म किए हैं पॉलिसी में। आपको मालूम है, वन टच वीएनओ लाइसेंस हो गया, स्पेक्ट्रम शेयरिंग एंड स्पेक्ट्रम ट्रेडिंग, डिलाइसेंसिंग ऑफ सर्टेन फ्रीक्वेंसी बैंड्स, ये हमने किया है। एंड नाउ नेक्स्ट जनरेशन ओएसपी लेबलाइजेशन इज अनदर स्टेप। आप लोगों को याद होगा कि नवंबर 2020 में हमने एक ओएसपी गाइडलाइन इशू किया था। उसका फीचर क्या था? डाटा रिलेटेड ओएसपी वर कंप्लीटली टेकन आउट ऑफ द परव्यू ऑफ द रेगुलेशंस। No bank guarantee, no requirement of static IP, no requirement of frequent reporting to DOT, or no requirement of publication of network diagram। ये मैंने काफी, और पेनाल्टीज को भी, स्पेसिफिक पेनाल्टीज को हटाया भी था। तो ये हमारा एक सिलसिला चलता है रिफॉर्म का, ये मुझे आपको बताना था। और उसी क्रम में आज का ये रिफॉर्म है। यू ऑल नो, वर्क फ्रॉम होम पहले हमने लिबरलाइज किया और उसमें पेनल्टी, उसमें सारे जो सिक्योरिटी देने की बात थी सबको लिबरलाइज किया। एंड नाउ इट इज फर्दर ग्रेजुएटेड फ्रॉम वर्क फ्रॉम एनीवेयर, फ्रॉम वर्क फ्रॉम होम टू वर्क फ्रॉम एनीवेयर। ये नेक्स्ट में दिया है, हाँ ये दिया है। अभी जो बीपीएम का करंट मार्केट है ग्लोबल, 198 बिलियन डॉलर्स का है। आउटसोर्सिंग मार्केट 91 बिलियन डॉलर्स का है। और करंट बीपीएम आउटसोर्स मैंने बताया आपके 38.5 बिलियन डॉलर इंडिया का है। तो पोटेंशियल क्या है हम आपको बताना चाहते हैं। हम चाहते हैं कि दुनिया की बड़ी बड़ी वॉइस की बीपीओ कंपनियां हिंदुस्तान आए, बेस स्थापित करें, लोगों को नौकरी दें। एंड देयरफॉर टुडेज फीचर विच आई एम गोइंग टू जस्ट इंडिकेट टू ऑल ऑफ यू इज इन पैरेलल विथ वन ऑफ द बेस्ट गाइडलाइंस अवेलेबल ग्लोबली। आज जो हम ग्लोबली इसको लिबरलाइज कर रहे हैं, इस गाइडलाइन को, ये दुनिया की गाइडलाइन के स्तर की है। अभी मैं पढ़ देता हूं, फिर बताऊंगा क्या है। डिस्टिंक्शन बिटवीन डोमेस्टिक एंड इंटरनेशनल ओएसपी हैज बीन रिमूव्ड। A BPO center with common telecom resource will now be able to serve customers located worldwide, including India. The distinction has been removed. It's a very major reform we have taken. Second is all the more important. Electronic Private Automatic Branch Exchange, जो हम कहते हैं, EBPABX of the OSP can be located anywhere in the world. OSP, apart from utilizing EPBX service, the telecom service providers can locate their EPBX at third-party data center in India. So, distinction between Indian company and international company removed, domestic or international as the case may be, and from their telecom resource they can serve their customer anywhere in the world. दुनिया में कहीं भी अपने कस्टमर को सर्व कर सकते हैं। और इसके लिए जो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक प्राइवेट ऑटोमेटिक ब्रांच एक्सचेंज की बात थी, वो भी दुनिया में कहीं भी लोकेट हो सकता है। दिस इज अ वेरी रेवोल्यूशनरी स्टेप व्हिच वी हैव टेकन। now with this happening, interconnectivity between various OSP, domestic or international, has become flawless. All type of OSP now can be seamlessly connected because of these liberalized guidelines. एक और बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट इसमें हम आपको बताना चाहेंगे जो हमने आज किया है, रिमोट एजेंट्स ऑफ ओएसपी जो हैं कैन नाउ डायरेक्टली कनेक्ट विद द सेंट्रलाइज्ड ईपीबीएक्स of the customer using any technology including broadband or wireline, wireless etc. तो जो दुनिया में हमारे सिस्टम है आउटसोर्सिंग का, उसमें रिमोट एजेंट्स प्ले ए वेरी क्रूशियल रोल, बट द इश्यू वाज हाउ दे गेट लिंक टू द सिस्टम. तो नाउ दे कैन गेट लिंक टू सिस्टम इन ए वेरी फ्लॉलेस मैनर. दूसरी बात यह है कि हाउ टू इंश्योर इंटरकनेक्टिविटी बिटवीन ओएसपी सेंटर विद इन द सेम कंपनी और अदर कंपनी. ऑल द रेस्ट्रिक्शंस ऑन दैट हैव बीन रिमूव्ड. OSP centers of the same company or the group company or unrelated company, all can they interconnect. This is a very far-reaching revolutionary step which we have taken. Ki there is a seamless connectivity not only between the remote agent and the operating system, but OSP within the company or unrelated company. Location is irrelevant. ये आप लोग के लिए जानना जरूरी था. और बाकी तो हमने डाटाबेस सर्विस को तो पहले एग्जाम कर दिया था, पेनाल्टी कर दिया है. Now let me concretize. These guidelines are designed to put India as a very central and serious player in the entire international BPO industry, voice-related industry. Indians are trained in technology, Indians are good in English, Indians have a very robust IT and telecom network as a backbone. Therefore, all these ultimately gives India a very vantage position, and plus it is economical also, the sheer size and scale. We hope that with these liberalized guidelines, which are comparable to the best in the world, India will be able to further attract a lion's share of this BPO industry. हमने आज जो गाइडलाइंस में सुधार किया है वो दुनिया के उच्च स्तर मानकों के अनुसार हैं. भारत में नौजवान हैं, अंग्रेजी बोलते हैं, हिंदी बोलते हैं, बाकी भाषाओं में उपलब्ध हैं, और भारत का आईटी और टेलीकॉम का बैकबोन बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण है, मजबूत है. इसलिए आज भारत अपने डिजिटल लैंडस्केप के कारण दुनिया के बीपीओ इंडस्ट्री का एक बड़ा केंद्र बनेगा, ऐसा हमारा पूरा विश्वास है. उस दिशा में ये बहुत ही क्रांतिकारी और महत्वपूर्ण लिबरलाइज गाइडलाइंस बने हैं, ये मुझे आपको बताना था. ये हम आपके इस प्रेस नोट का भी पार्ट है, लेकिन खाली आपको हम एक प्रकार से रिमाइंड कर रहे हैं. NASSCOM ने एक स्टडी किया था कि जो हम लोगों ने पूरा लिबरलाइज किया इंक्लूडिंग वर्क फ्रॉम होम, इसका क्या इंपैक्ट रहा है. तो 72% of the respondents were highly satisfied with our first leg of reform, November 20. 95% respondents mentioned it helped in reducing compliance burden.
ये आपको दे रहे हैं प्रेस रिलीज में.
बिल्कुल. 95% respondents stated that this will help in making IT services more competitive and productive. और बाकी सब इसमें आपको हम एक बात और बताना चाहते हैं, ये भी इसका पार्ट है, लेकिन मैं कहना चाहता हूं कि हम 7 साल का नंबर लेते हैं तो प्रीवियस गवर्नमेंट जो यूपीए गवर्नमेंट थी उनमें टेलीकॉम में 11.64 बिलियन यूएस डॉलर आया एफडीआई, और एनडीए गवर्नमेंट हेड बाय नरेंद्र मोदी जी इसमें 23.5 बिलियन यूएस डॉलर्स आया टेलीकॉम एफडीआई। ग्रोथ विल बी 102%। और आईटी सेक्टर जो है कंप्यूटर और हार्डवेयर का, इसमें प्रीवियस यूपीए गवर्नमेंट में 7.19 बिलियन यूएस डॉलर्स आया, और प्रेजेंट एनडीए गवर्नमेंट हेड बाय नरेंद्र मोदी जी 58.23 बिलियन यूएस डॉलर्स एफडीआई आया। द ग्रोथ इज 7-10%. It is IT sector, computer and hardware. Software, hardware both. तो मेरा कहना क्या है कि whether it is telecom or whether it is IT and software hardware, India is emerging as a big FDI destination. ये हमारे दावे को और मजबूत करता है। एक तीसरी बात मुझे आपसे कहनी है कि कोविड में भी एक स्पेसिफिक डेटा आपको देंगे, पिछले साल लगभग 7 बिलियन प्लस एफडीआई आया था, और इस साल सौरभ 21 हो गया ना, आ गया, इट हैज गॉन टू 21 बिलियन डॉलर्स। सौरभ, गिव मी द नेम। तो इवन ड्यूरिंग कोविड इंडिया कंटिन्यूज टू बी ए वेरी फेवरेट एफडीआई डेस्टिनेशन। और नास्कॉम की एक और रिपोर्ट हम दे दें कि पिछले साल आईटी सेक्टर, हार्डवेयर वगैरह में 1,38,000 लोगों को नौकरी मिली, 1,38,000। और इस साल सिर्फ 5 कंपनियां 96,000 लोगों को एम्प्लॉय करने जा रही है। एम्प्लॉयमेंट इज राइजिंग, एफडीआई इज राइजिंग रिगार्डलेस ऑफ कोविड, एंड आवर, क्या बता रहा हूं कुछ, हाँ, oh I'm sorry, it is 26 billion dollars इस साल,
Not 21.
not 21. The reason as to why I'm giving you a wholesome perspective, FDI is rising regardless of COVID, both in the telecom and the IT sector. Employment is rising, and reform is going simultaneously. And today's this revised guideline is going to play a seminal role in making India a very big OSP center. BPO basically voice related. तो आज का ये हमारा जो गाइडलाइन है बहुत ही क्रांतिकारी है, और इसमें हमारे सारे अफसर्स ने बहुत मेहनत की है और कंसल्टेशन भी किया है, और इस तरह का लिबरलाइज गाइडलाइन 1 नवंबर 2020 में देना और एक अभी देना, तो एक बहुत बड़ी उपलब्धि है। दैट्स ऑल फ्रॉम माय साइड। एनी क्वेश्चंस?
Specifically to rural people, how would this help in generating more jobs and getting them clients?
The reply is very simple. You have seen that we have also remote agents भी कोई बनाया ना, तो गांव में बैठ के काम करेगा ना। ये तो I always say, let us give opportunity. These guidelines create opportunity.
Economies of scale.
Economies of scale.
All right, so just to quickly reiterate high points of that presser by Union IT Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad. He was basically announcing the liberalized and revised guidelines in BPO and IT sector. He also talked about the potential rise and the exponential rise in terms of numbers in this space. We are talking the BPO and IT, citing numbers and comparative global data, comparative analysis of that as well. He also said that India is poised to be the next big destination for the leading global BPOs for them, India being the next big destination. And he also talked about why India has robust telecom IT as its backbone in this sector, and also adding that India is emerging slowly as a big FDI destination even amidst pandemic times. We're going to get the highlights and the high points of the press conference by IT Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad later in our subsequent bulletins as well. But meanwhile, it's time for me to take your leave. But on the other side, after a short break, my colleagues Amritpal and Lal Chandra will be joining you on a live COVID program. Doctors Speak, with the eminent panel of doctors joining us live. You can call us with your questions. Meanwhile, namaskar.